Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. In today's Skyrim mod video on the PS4, I wanted to share my experience with you in case it might help somebody. I don't know that it will, I want to stress that right at the start, but of an issue that I had with each of my saves being corrupted, how I was able to reverse it, and the mod that caused it that is now a permanent part of my load order because without it being enabled, the corruption comes back. So first of all, the mod that caused it is Wonders of Weather PS4, ported to PlayStation by mod author Moore's Umbra. So what I've been doing is I've been testing a lot of these port mods as of late, and some of them work, some of them don't. This mod, as far as way that it is working currently in the game, works fine, but I was testing a separate mod. I decided to run a comparison and I shut that weather mod and a couple of others off, and I found I had save corruption when trying to load the game. Not only that, but I also had save corruption on my save, which we'll get into in a minute. Basically, my saves consist of my original prisoner save, one manual save that I call my save that I only update when I know it's safe to do so, until this last time when I foolishly updated too soon, as well as 3 autosaves that constantly overwrite one another when I go into an interior, exterior, etc. So I broke my own rule because normally when making a save, I do not update it very often. That's because shit like this right here that you're seeing can happen. But for the mod that I talked about there that caused the issue, I've had it for a while now, and it had been working fine. I had no reason to suspect that simply disabling it, because I had not deleted it, just disabled it for to run a test, would cause the corruption. I had downloaded 2 other mods today, one that I showed briefly, and it was not the issue, and one that I was testing all ports that was supposed to, something about wondrous gradients or something. I didn't see what it was supposed to change, so I took it out. And when I did was when I switched off the other 2 mods to run a test, because I wanted to check to see if it made a change to my lighting rig, and that was when I got the corruption. So most people would figure that was probably the last mod that they had tested that caused it. That's what I normally would have figured. But I went through after trying to load my first save, and that didn't work, my manual save. I then tried to go ahead and load one of my more current auto saves on the off chance that would work. That didn't either. So I'm 2 saves down with only 1 to go in my prisoner save. I decided on a hunch. I had deleted the final mod that I had tested completely. So when it asked me if I wanted to re-download that as well as re-enable the other 2 mods, I selected yes. I let it re-download the one, I re-enabled the other 2, and then I tried to load one of my autosaves again. And this time it worked. It loaded up just fine. So my next step was to see which mod was actually causing the corruption. So after I forced another save, because I had deleted my other one completely because it was corrupted, I went through and I tested the mods one at a time, which is what I am doing right here that you see. And the first mod that I eliminated was the most recent one. I went ahead, enabled after the save, making a new one because I wanted to see if it would corrupt again. I left all the mods enabled, closed the app, reloaded the game, loaded that save, and it loaded fine. So then I came in, I disabled and deleted the last mod that I downloaded, which was the gradients. I don't remember what the exact name of it was. It was the one that, from when I tested, I didn't see anything that it changed, because I wanted to rule it out. And I did. It wasn't it. It still loaded and was just fine. Next, I came in and I disabled the Pradius Sky, which is the one that I had just showed this morning. Then I reloaded the save again, and it loaded just fine. I rolled it out. Then I disabled Wonders of Weather PS4 again, and sure enough, that's the cause. That's what I'm testing right here and showing you. That is exactly what caused it. So, as it now is, because I foolishly made a new safe save that I thought was safe at the time with this mod installed, and it was active at the time, I am stuck with this mod. Now, don't get me wrong, as far as the mod itself, while it's running perfectly fine. It does what it says it's supposed to, and I don't have any issues with it. I like it. It was one I was going to keep. I had simply shut it off, which I've done many times with many mods in the past over the years to test comparisons, and it wasn't until I shut it off that I found I had the corruption. If the mod is disabled, still in my load order, simply disabled, the corruption returns. I cannot load a save. Every time it will tell me that it's corrupted. However, I go back in, I turn the mod on, I can load any of the saves that I want. So the mod is now a permanent part of my load order, whether I want it to be or not. And for the fact of what it did, I probably would remove it if I had the choice. And I'm going to make a warning about it to warn people. Now, I don't know. This is the PS4 version of it, and I'm Skyrim Special Edition PS4 Slim, if that information is relevant to you. I don't know that it will do that on other versions. I don't know if you're using it, if it will do it on yours. I can only share my experience, and as you can see, I have not cut my footage. You saw that my save was corrupted. I tried to reload the exact same save after turning it back on. And there is Lydia. That's my safe save. That's what I do. I get up close to her so that I can always see that that's the one that I can revert to if need be. But my issue was my mistake that I will not make again, because in showcasing a lot of these ports, to be honest, a lot of these ports do not work the way that they're supposed to over here. And I've been having to revert my save a lot more often. That's why my character is always level 450. And I was getting tired of having to go back and re-pick up some of the last spells that I needed and stuff that were things I was keeping every time that I needed to do that. And what I had been using up to that point, I did think was perfectly safe. And so I overwrote my safe save. And that was my big mistake, because that is now where this mod is now a permanent part and must be enabled. And so what that means for me is, luckily at least this mod is one that I plan to keep enabled and work. But if I ever lose access to it for some reason, if it gets to be unavailable for download and something happened to the load order, that the load order was deleted, which I've had issue with in the past, not since the Creations update, but for whatever reason, if I lose access to the mod, at that point, this character is no longer going to be recoverable. The original character that I've had all these years, he is the only one that I've ever had, will be gone because of this mod, and because I foolishly, part of it is my own fault for updating before I should have that safe save, but for the fact that the mod enabled doesn't have any bad effects. There's nothing that would make me think that. So, what does that mean for you if you have the same issue? And again, I want to stress that I don't know that what I'm going to propose here would work. I don't know that it will for me again. It is working for this. I've tested this now multiple times, and if the mod's disabled, which again, I'm going to show you right here exactly which one it is. If it's disabled, the saves, no matter what save it is, will say it's corrupted. But if I enable it, then I don't even have to delete those saves. I can load them, and they load up just fine, just like I'm right here, right now. So what you could try is, if you get corruption and you care about that character, you don't want to lose it, and you find that you have corruption on multiple saves, not just one, at that point, whatever you deleted, whatever you disabled, have it downloaded again, have it enabled again, try to load the save. If it did, then do what I did. Go through and test one at a time, disabling but not deleting whatever mods it was you think caused it, until you find the one that again gives you the corruption. Switch that one back on, and if you're able to load the save, like I was here, then you know that that mod is now the permanent one in your load order, and without it, you won't be able to continue your current playthrough. I don't know if my experience can help you. It is my hopes that it can. It's also my hopes to release another video to warn people about this in the first place with this mod. Take care.